Okay, so the 300-hour, both of you are 200-hour yoga teachers, but you can actually participate in the 300-hour with any 200. You don't have to have the Power Yoga Canada 200-hour as a prerequisite. So we do have other people sometimes that come in and do the training with us. Take your teaching to the next level. So what we want you to know is that you will learn advanced techniques. You'll further develop your leadership skills, deepen your understanding of how to use yoga as a healing modality, and be able to utilize powerful tools for personal transformation and build on the foundation you already have with the 200-hour certification. So I just want to see what we've got here. Yeah, so let me just go back here. In a nutshell, the difference from the 200 to the 300-hour is that the 300-hour takes all the little tidbits of what we looked at in the 200-hour. We kind of like touched upon a little bit of chakras, a little bit of anatomy, a little bit of, a little bit of everything. In the 300-hour, we spend, there's 7 weekends. So we spend each weekend specifically working on one element. So we'll do a whole weekend on like leadership and self-expression. We'll do a whole weekend on anatomy with Christina. She comes in and does that. On advanced anatomy, we do a whole weekend on music and creative sequencing. We'll do a whole weekend with chakras and energy work, and just get deeper into the yoga history on another weekend. So it's modular. So different from the 200-hour where we take you through an experience that's a little bit of journaling, yoga, and meditation every day, and labbing and learning. This one is modular. So every weekend we have like guest facilitators come in who are, from our community that really specialize in those areas. So it takes your teaching to a different level in that you get to really spend the time on one whole weekend and focus in on these elements that we've just looked at like a little bit here and there. That's the main difference. The second main difference is the transformational content that I weave through in the 300-hour is different from the 200-hour in that in the 200-hour, it's all about seeking the truth and going inward and seeking like, who am I? What's my purpose? How is my identity created? What's my belief system? All the work that we did in the 200-hour. The 300-hour is all about how can I be of service out in the world. So it's all about creating miracles for others and being in service and being at cause for how the world is showing up for you and your relationships. So it's just as transformational, but it adds this whole new layer of how we can impact other people in our lives. So it's really about being out in the world and leadership. And I do most of the transformational stuff on the Thursday nights. And then I'll do a little bit, I'll weave through on the weekends, but mostly I'll be with you guys on the Thursday nights, and we'll do that kind of like journaling stuff on the Thursdays. And then you guys know what our mission is at PYC, that it is to empower communities into action. And those are our core values that we embody and use to help live our mission. And we have it up on the wall in the studio. And we also really infuse these core values through our energy exchange program. And Jen's part of that right now, which is really fun at Oakville. And through our affiliate ownership team, we embody our core values that way. So logistics, there we have 7 weekends, and it's just Saturdays and Sundays. So a long day Saturday, a shorter day on Sunday, and then every Thursday night. The weekends are about every other weekend. In the fall, it works out like we're together, then we're not, we're together, then we're not. We are on Zoom in the mornings. And then you have the option, if you can drive to Oakville, we'll be together from on Saturday, 11 to 12. We usually start around 12:31 and then spend the rest of the day together in person. So 7 hours together. So it's just mornings online on Saturdays, and then we're in person at the studio. We do have the option on both days to do it 100% Zoom. So we are going to have the Zoom capabilities as if I don't know if Riley, you're coming back home in the fall, but we are able to host people doing this completely on Zoom from wherever you are. On Sundays, it's the same. We'll start at 8 a.m. though, and we'll be online in the morning for 3 hours till 11. And then we'll start at the studio from 12 and go to about 4:30. And the Thursday nights are on Zoom. So those ones you do from home. So it's everyone's online in the mornings, and then option to come over to Oakville and spend the day together in person. required tools, same as the 200-hour, your 200-hour certification, which you both have. Obviously, this kind of ability to be on Zoom, whatever you need for that. And then your yoga gear, journal, pen, yoga mat. Requirements to complete the program. So you complete the weekends and not the Wednesday nights, sorry, those are, I should say, Thursday night sessions. There is an element of independent study, similar to what you remember from the 200-hour. Well, you'll have a project to do. There's actually a project that we do over the 4 months that we're together, which is a really cool, it's like scrapbooking your life story in a book. I love this project that we do in the 300-hour. And so that you would do on your own time, and then you present it to the group and we get to experience you. There is a mentor, a mentee, 10 hours of that, where we will link you up with a recent 200-hour graduate, and then we'll give you content to take them through a mentorship program. So you'll be in leadership, leading and mentoring someone who's brand new, right at a 200-hour, and helping them grow their teaching skills. And we guide you through that. And then there's 100 hours of elective modules. So the 300-hour program that I'm telling you about, the 7 weekends and the Thursdays, this is just 200 hours of the 300-hour element. The last 100 hours are your electives that you get to pick and choose. And those could be things that you've already done. Like, I'm not sure if either of you have done the assisting intensive. Jen, you have. Yeah. Riley, did you do the assisting intensive?
No, not yet.
So if you do like the assisting intensive or the trauma sensitive or yin or the meditation or what else? There's just a couple of things like that. The corporate private one with Ashley, and some of them are also on Zoom too. Those you would add up to your 100-hour elective modules. There is not a time frame for this. Like if you do the 300-hour in the fall and then you take some time to do these other 100-hour modules, it's not like your hours are going to expire. So it can take you, you might do it quickly or it might take you time, but don't worry that there's not like a time frame of where you have to get it done by. I just want people to enjoy, being in the learning process all the time. So these are our weekends. The first weekend is all about causing miracles. Second weekend is teaching and leading, the difference between the two. Advanced anatomy, delivering and executing with purpose. That's with Pino. The yoga history and the energy chakras. Creative sequencing and musicality, and then living your yoga and leadership. So those are start September 17th, and we end the first weekend of December. And then those are our Thursday nights for 2 hours. We'll meet every Thursday night. And then here's a list of all of these electives. Some of them we haven't run, like the energy and chakra one. That one's about to be booked with Jax. The nutrition and wellness, that one too hasn't been booked yet. But pretty much everything else, you could do a life on team. It only says 10 hours, but actually it could be a 40-hour program. That one you would come and assist the 200-hour program with me, and I would put you into leadership. We just did the summer teacher training up north, and I had 3 people come through and do leadership life on team mentorship program. And what that looks like is I give them an opportunity to facilitate part of the 200-hour in like leading discussion or check-in or leading labbing or leading some of the class, and then they get coaching and live feedback. So that one I really recommend, because I just love having assistance in the 200-hour program, and it's a really great way for me to give you like live real experience of being in leadership. And what else we got there? Yin. The assisting intensive is 40 hours. And then the corporate and private yoga one, Ashley does that often. It's such a great program. The trauma and the yin and the restorative are usually held at the Mississauga City Center location. And those happen quite often. And then books. So these are some books that we have you read. These are like, my yoga books from the 200-hour, and then these are like next level. You got to read Ram Dass at some point in your life. How Yoga Works is a great book that is this beautiful story that embodies the Yoga Sutras. And, make sense of it in a really beautiful story. Anatomy of the Spirit, Carolyn Miss. The Key Poses of Yoga, that's another Ray Long book similar to the Key Muscles of Yoga that we did. Embracing Yoga's Roots. I don't know, actually, I'm probably not going to have that's a suggested book. And then Eastern Body, Western Mind. You probably recognize that one too. That was our recommended book for chakras from the first training, but I recommend it as a required reading because it's just like one of those books that everyone should have on their bookshelf. We do have scholarships and payment plans if needed. Nick is my support with all those conversations and enrolling. He's on vacation right now, so he will be back, I think, tomorrow or the next day. But you can obviously work out something with Nick if needed. And then tuition, we have an early bird $300 savings if you book before August 17th. And oh my gosh, time is flying. It's almost the end of July. What are we, the 20th today? 21st already. Oh, that's all the pictures I have for you. Any questions, Miss Riley, Miss Jennifer?
Thank you so much for that, Kinndli. That was great. I'm so excited. I really hope that this works out for timing. I am going to be back in Oakville, so I definitely want to get the experience of also getting to come into the studio, which will be cool because obviously we didn't get to do that in the 200-hour. I was curious though, do the cohorts operate together? Like if there were to be students that would just be online, will we get to all be together, or how will that work?
Exactly. Yeah, I facilitate with like a lapel on. And so it's interactive all the time together. So the people who are Zooming in, there's one I know for sure that's Zooming in from the States. She's with us the whole time. So we have like this big TV set up, and that way we can see everyone at home, and then they can also see us. There's a camera on it. So it's interactive, and yeah, they feel really engaged in the group with us.
Awesome.
It'll be a small group. The 300 hours usually, well, we've had different numbers. The online one I did during COVID was a lot larger, but normally I would say we get maybe around like 15 people. Like it's a nice, small, intimate group. So it's, you know, you really become a tight-knit family and get to know everybody. Yeah.
That was my next question. So that was kind of all that I was wondering. I've been talking to Nick, so if I have anything else that comes up, I'll just ask him, but thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome, Riley. Do you have any questions, Jen?
No, I want to, so it's every other weekend. It's not every weekend, it's every other.
Not every weekend, but I have a feeling, I'd have to look at those dates again, that I have a feeling that there might be one that goes back to back, and it was to avoid Thanksgiving. I think it was, let me see. Yeah, the October 29th and 30th. And then we have a weekend right again, November 5th and 6th. And then it goes back to every other weekend again. So it's just those 2 weekends are back to back.
And then, because I'm in another, I just signed up for another program. I don't know if the dates are going to conflict. So okay. I need to know. So are you running again? In like, when does this 300-hour run again next year? Does it run again?
I would try to do it every year. I didn't do one last year. It might be that I just skip a year, just because there's less people that can come into this program because they have to have done the 200-hour. So unless there's a demand, like I would love to do it every year, but we might skip it. It might turn out that we just do it like every other year.
Because of the demand. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's not as impactful, I find, unless we've got like, 12, 15 people. You kind of need like a little bit of a group.
Yeah. Okay. I just gotta
see if the date
my dates, see how there's any conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies. Well, I'm available for any questions, and obviously Nick is here to support. So I hope you can join, both of you. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited. Thank you so much, Kinndli. Jen, it was nice to virtually meet you.
Yeah, it's nice to hear your voice.
Okay, have a good, I guess, rest of your night.
You too. Get to bed. It's late.
Yeah, okay. See you guys. Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Jen. Bye.
Bye, Kinley. Thank you.